use every ounce of strength I could to break this robot. But she couldn't. He simply moved her at his will. And she played the part of a puppet. Then she said, I saw something forming. He was trying to form something in me, or out of me, or by me. But something was forming, and it seemed to be formed out of hot, liquid glass. But you know the intensity of heat that it would take to reduce glass to a liquid state. And then I noticed that the form of a man took shape, and it came out of the top of my head. The head was perfect, perfectly formed, but the rest was still a mass, not yet formed. I would say to her, it was perfectly formed. Don't expect below the head to find anything you're going to find below the head in the form you now wear. I say the form is complete when you saw the head come out of your head. Now in Jeremiah we are told, the last verse of the 30th chapter, the fierce anger of the Lord will not turn back until he has executed and accomplished the intents of his mind. In the latter days you will understand it. Then going to the next chapter, the 31st, and we are told that the Lord has done a great thing on the earth. A man is compassed by a woman. This is translated as he's turned a woman into a man. The return of the virgin Israel, his own emanation, to himself, the Lord, Jehovah. At the very end, if anyone is to blame, it is only God. As told in the book of Job, in the very end of all the trials, all the horrors through which he was put, and then his friends came and he comforted him, all his friends, and comforted Job for the horror, for the evil that the Lord God had brought upon him. So this body, you put it through hell, may I tell you. But you put it through to learn certain lessons. For we are told the law is spiritual, but man does not know the law is spiritual until he has gone through all these fires of experience. And then he discovers that it is spiritual. And in the end, when the whole thing unfolds within him, then the law becomes so easy for him to operate. But not until the end. For we are told God has consigned all men to disobedience, that he may have mercy upon all. He has consigned all men to disobedience, that he may have mercy upon all. Here is a simple story. A boy born in poverty, born in Odessa, Russia, in a Jewish family, who knew nothing of, a full meal. At the tender age, he was the oldest of a family of 5. And at a very tender age, his mother died, leaving just a few babies. And then he was then maybe, I would say, 10. He had to work to support the family. His father was a worker, but could not bring in enough to feed the family. He never knew what it was to have a new pair of shoes, a new pair of pants, a new shirt, a new hat. Everything was given by charity. And these gifts were not new things. They were simply hand-me-downs, what people had passed on. And so when he wore out the burlap shoe, then he would go back and get another pair of things to wrap his foot in cold Russia. He got a job going to the bank every day with large denominations in paper, and they would be exchanged for silver and copper. And so when he came back, he had the equal amount of money, this time in silver and copper. And one day, standing before the teller, the cashier, he noticed that the copper and the silver had a similar external markings. They looked alike. And he wondered to himself, wouldn't it be wonderful if he made a mistake? Wouldn't it be wonderful if that cashier made a mistake and gave me silver instead of copper? At that moment, he assumed that the cashier did. And in his mind's eye, he took the things and then walked back to the store. He knew the cashier had not done it, but he simply wiped it out and played a little game. And he walked back feeling that the cashier had made the mistake.